So. Gut. So. Spiele ich's im Emulator. Könnte man sagen. Könnte man so sagen. Ich spiele es auf meiner virtuellen PlayStation 1. So. Alaska. Ist in dem Teil nicht der blöde Bosch?
The nuclear weapons disposal facility on Shadow Moses Island in Alaska's Fox Archipelago was attacked and captured by Next Generation Special Forces, being led by members of Foxhound.
Falls du Psycho Mantis meinst,
They're
dann ja.
demanding that the government turn over the remains of Big Boss, and they say that if their demands are not met within 24 hours, they'll launch a nuclear weapon. You'll have two mission objectives. First, you're to rescue DARPA Chief Donald Anderson and the president of Armstech, Kenneth Baker. Both are being held as hostages. Secondly, you're to investigate whether or not the terrorists have the ability to make a nuclear strike and stop them if they do.
What's the insertion method?
We'll approach the disposal facility by sub.
And then?
We'll launch a one-man SDV. After the SDV gets as close as it can, dispose of it. From there on, you'll have to swim.
Wer kommt auf sowas? Kojima. Kojima kommt auf sowas.
High-Tech Special Forces Unit Foxhound. Your former unit, and one that I was a commander of.
So they're still around.
There are 6 members of Foxhound involved in this terrorist activity. Psycho Mantis, with his powerful psychic abilities. Sniper Wolf, the beautiful and deadly sharpshooter. Decoy Octopus, master of disguise. Vulcan Raven, giant and shaman. And Revolver Ocelot, specialist in interrogation and a formidable gunfighter. And finally, in charge of them, Foxhound squad leader, Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake.
The man with the same codename as you. The nuclear weapons disposal facility covers the whole island. I'll instruct you by codec after you reach your target.
Anyone going with me?
As usual, this is a one-man infiltration mission.
Weapons and equipment OSP?
Yes, this is a top-secret black op. Don't expect any official support.
Gute Nacht, Amadeo. Gutweise gibt's solche Bosse nicht mehr. Nein, ich finde das Konzept von Psycho Mantis eigentlich ziemlich cool. Und wenn man Probleme damit hat, irgendwann wird man per Codec, glaube ich sogar, wird einem per Codec gesagt, dass man den Controller in den zweiten Slot reintun soll. Damit der einem die Gedanken nicht mehr lesen kann. Ja, okay. Ich gehe mal auf Easy, weil ich habe absolut keine Ahnung von Metal Gear Solid. Ich habe keine Erfahrung mit Metal Gear Solid und keine Ahnung. Und ja. Deswegen, mach mal einfach. Einfach. Gut. Soll das mit dem Controller eigentlich hier funktionieren? Kann ich einstellen. Ich spiele jetzt auf der PS3 oder PS4. Würde ich nicht sagen. Aber sollte ich einstellen können. Wenn nicht, dann bin ich am Arsch. Aber mal schauen.
This is Snake. Colonel, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. What's the situation, Snake?
Looks like the elevator in the back is the only way up.
Just as I expected. You'll have to take the elevator to the surface. But make sure nobody sees you. If you need to, contact me by codec. The frequency is 140.85. When you want to use the codec, push the select button. When we need to contact you, the codec will beep. When you hear that noise, press the select button.
Okay.
The codec's receiver directly stimulates the small bones of your ear. No one but you will be able to hear it.
Got
Sehr
it.
gut.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
Okay. Okay. Ich hab fast Angst, dass ich vorher doch das VR-Training hätte machen sollen, weil ich habe absolut keine Ahnung, wie man das Spiel spielt. Und mir wird auch nichts weiter angezeigt. Das ist doof. Okay, also mit X kann ich mich zumindest ducken. Wenn ich mich gegen eine Wand drücke, kann ich da lang gucken. Okay, mit Kreis. Mit Kreis kann ich schlagen. Wenn ich gegen eine Wand gedrückt bin, kann ich an die Wand klopfen, um Leute anzulocken. Okay. Viereck, keine Ahnung, was das ist. An der Wand macht Viereck nichts.
What was that noise?
Okay, kann ich Leute hauen. Okay, bin tot. Ich hätte...
What happened? Snake! Snake!
Sehr schön. Ich mache erstmal VR-Training. Oder sonst wie. Was ist ein Briefing? Okay, Story, bisschen. Schauen wir uns das mal an.
It's been a long time, Snake.
I should have known you were behind this, Colonel.
Ich glaube, das müsste der Teil sein.
War buddy, Snake.
What do you want from me?
I just invited you here so we could have a talk.
Invited? That's what you call sending armed soldiers after me?
Sorry if they were a little rough with you. But we've got a serious situation here. Only you can get us out of it.
I'm retired from Foxhound. You're not my commander anymore, and I don't have to take orders from you or anyone else.
You will take these orders. I know it.
Excuse me.
Who's this?
Dr. Naomi Hunter. She's chief of Foxhound's medical staff and an expert in gene therapy.
Are you military?
No, civilian. I've been sent here from ATGC. Pleasure to meet you, Snake. Don't worry, this injection won't hurt a bit.
What's the shot for?
What's wrong? You don't like shots?
Snake, listen up. It all went down 5 hours ago. Heavily armed soldiers occupied Shadow Moses Island, a remote island off the coast of Alaska.
What soldiers?
Next Generation Special Forces, led by members of Unit Foxhound. They've presented Washington with a single demand, and they say that if it isn't met, they'll launch a nuclear weapon.
A nuclear weapon?
I'm afraid so. You see, the island is the site of a secret nuclear weapons disposal facility.
Foxhound hijacking a nuclear weapon?
Now you understand how serious the situation is. You'll have 2 mission objectives. First, you're to rescue the DARPA chief, Donald Anderson, and the president of ArmsTech, Kenneth Baker. They're both being held as hostages.
Those are some heavy-duty hostages.
Secondly, you're to investigate whether or not the terrorists have the ability to launch a nuclear strike, and stop them if they do. Any questions, Snake?
Questions? I haven't even said whether I'd accept this mission.
Well, you can make up your mind after you hear more about the situation.
Okay. Noch mehr Zeug.
Tell me about the nuclear weapon disposal facility.
The disposal facility includes a hardened underground base. Even with our most advanced intelligence gathering equipment, we can't tell what's happening inside.
So someone needs to penetrate, gather intelligence, and report back. Sounds like a spy movie. What's the insertion method?
Well, an air insertion is impossible.
Not with this storm going on.
We'll approach the disposal facility by sub.
Approach?
Yes, within a few miles of it. The facility is equipped with sonar detection capabilities. They'd be able to hear our engine or propeller noise.
And then?
We'll launch a one-man SDV.
Launch?
Same as a torpedo, only this has no propulsion device of its own. After the SDV gets as close as it can, dispose of it. From there on, you'll have to swim.
You want me to swim in sub-zero Alaskan water?
Don't worry. That suit represents the latest advances in polythermal technology. The nuclear weapons disposal facility covers the whole island. I'll instruct you by codec after you reach your target.
Anyone going with me?
As usual, this is a one-man infiltration mission.
Weapons and equipment OSP?
Yes. This is a top-secret black op. Don't expect any official support.
Das hat man schon mal gehört. Aber warum sitzt denn der da überhaupt oben ohne?
What's the time limit?
24 hours. They say they'll launch after 24 hours.
Do they say what the target will be?
So far, they haven't mentioned the target.
When did the countdown start?
5 hours ago.
Okay. Ach Gott, okay. Aber ja, was anderes kann man von einem Metal Gear Spiel nicht erwarten. Sehr viel Zwischensequenz, sich Videozeug.
Colonel, who are you speaking for?
Naturally, I'm representing the U.S. government.
So who's in supervisory control of this operation?
The President of the United States.
Which means that the President must be meeting with his top aides in the map room about now, huh?
No, at this point they're still video conferencing with each other.
If that's a real nuclear warhead, shouldn't they issue a COG?
Not yet. The Secretary of Defense has operational control and is fully aware of the situation. After you infiltrate, if you determine they possess nuclear launch capabilities, a COG will be issued.
Well, if they haven't relocated to the nuclear shelter under Mount Washington, I suppose there isn't that much reason to worry yet. Is the National Security Agency in on this?
Yes. So is the DIA, the Defense Intelligence Agency.
The DIA? I'm starting to get a bad feeling about this.
They'll be sending us some support.
We don't need desk jockeys. We need a nuclear weapons specialist.
Of course. A nuclear weapons specialist has already been assigned to us.
Okay. Oh, mehr. Okay.
We need backup from a specialist. I'm just an amateur when it comes to nuclear weapons.
I know. That's why I've requested the assistance of a military analyst named Nastasha Romanenko. She'll be providing you backup by Kodak.
A female analyst?
She's built up an impressive record as an advisor for the Nuclear Emergency Search Team. Contact her if you have any questions. She's also an expert on high-tech weapons.
Where's she working from?
At her home in Los Angeles.
California. Seems like a million miles away.
Muss es nicht gucken. Nicht unbedingt, nee. Aber mich interessiert's schon ein bisschen.
Colonel, you're retired. Why are you involved in this?
Because there aren't many people who know Foxhound as well as I do.
Is that really the only reason?
I've been soldiering for a long time. I don't know anything else. I guess even though I'm getting a little old, I still love to be in the field.
Colonel, you're a lousy liar. Tell me the real reason.
Okay, Snake. Sorry. I'll be frank. A person very dear to me is being held hostage.
Who is it?
My niece, Meryl.
Okay.
What was your niece doing here?
Several soldiers were reported missing the day of the revolt. And my niece was one of those called in as an emergency replacement.
She looks like you.
She's my little brother's girl. He died in the Gulf War. Since then, I've been watching after her.
A personal motive, Colonel. That's not very soldierly.
I'm retired. I'm just an old man now. And I'm your friend.
Since when are we
Psychotherapy
friends?
not to be
I've
attracted
thought of us as
to
friends
those.
since the fall of Zanzibar.
With my personality, I don't have too many friends.
That's what I trust about you. It's what makes you human. Please, Snake. Save my niece, Meryl.
All right. But I have two conditions.
Name them.
1, no more secrets between us. I want complete disclosure at all times. And 2, I'll only accept orders directly from you, Colonel. No cutoffs involved, okay?
Agreed. That's why I was called. But one thing,
What?
I'm not a colonel anymore. Just a retired old warhorse.
I understand, Colonel.
Warum hat die Psychotraining erhalten, dass sie im Endeffekt nicht mehr hetero ist? Aber homo ist er könnte noch sein. Drauf trainiert haben, lesbisch zu sein. Indirekt. Also im Endeffekt haben sie darauf trainiert, nicht von Männern angezogen zu werden. Also sich nicht für Männer zu interessieren im sexuellen Sinn. Muss nicht unbedingt heißen, dass sie demnach dann lesbisch geworden ist, aber die Möglichkeit. Wo soll das gestanden haben während dem Video da? Der letzte Punkt, der da kam.
That doctor, is she part of this operation too?
She was in charge of Foxhound's gene therapy. She knows more about those men than anyone else.
You mean you've seen them naked?
Make no mistake, I'm not a nurse. I'm a scientist.
By the way, what was that injection for?
It's a combination of nanomachines and an anti-freezing peptide so that your blood and other bodily fluids don't freeze, even at subarctic temperatures.
Nanomachines?
Not just one kind, either. There are different types which will replenish the supply of adrenaline, nutrition, and sugar in your bloodstream.
What?
Now I don't have to worry about food.
I also put some nootropics in there.
Say what?
Nootropics. A class of drugs which will help improve your mental functioning.
It'll make me smarter, huh? Anything else?
Yes. Benzedrine. It's a type of stimulant. It'll keep you alert and responsive for 12 straight hours.
That was quite a cocktail. Anything else in there?
Those nanomachines will also keep your Codex batteries charged up.
I guess I can call you when I'm ready to go on a diet.
You're welcome.
Okay. Okay. So.
The chief of DARPA and the president of an arms manufacturing company. What business did they have at a nuclear weapons disposal facility?
The truth is that secret exercises were being conducted at the time the terrorist group attacked.
Must be extremely important exercises if those two were directly involved. Were they testing some kind of new advanced weapon?
I'm not privy to that information.
Do we know exactly where they're being held?
The DARPA chief has also been injected with a mini transmitter. As you get closer, you should be able to pick up his location on your radar.
Pixel.
Do they really have the ability to launch a nuclear missile?
They say they do. They even gave us the serial number of the warhead they plan to use.
Was the number confirmed?
I'm afraid so. At the very least, they've got their hands on a real nuclear warhead.
Isn't there some kind of safety device to prevent this type of terrorism?
Yes. Every missile and warhead in our arsenal is equipped with a PAL, which uses a discrete detonation code.
PAL.
Permissive Action Link. The safety control system built into all nuclear weapons systems. But even so, we can't rest easy.
Why not?
Because the DARPA chief knows the detonation code.
But even if they have a nuclear warhead, it must have been removed from its missile. All the missiles on these disposal sites are supposed to be dismantled. It's not that easy to get your hands on an ICBM.
That used to be true. But since the end of the Cold War, you can get anything if you have enough money and the right connections.
How well armed are these terrorists? I know there was an exercise going on at the time they revolted.
They're heavily armed, I'm afraid.
What about their battle experience?
The 6 members of Foxhound in charge are all hardened veterans. They're tough enough to eat nails and ask for seconds.
I wouldn't expect anything less from Foxhound.
The others are next-generation special forces. They're not your average grunts either.
So what exactly are they demanding?
A person's remains.
Remains?
That's right. To be more accurate, cell specimens which contain the individual's genomic information.
Cell specimens? Why would they want that?
The terrorists need them. You see, these next-generation special forces have been strengthened through gene therapy.
Strengthened?
You've heard of the Human Genome Project. They've been mapping the human genome, and they're nearly finished. Following up on this research, the military has been working towards identifying those genes which are responsible for making effective soldiers.
There are genes that do that?
Yes. And using gene therapy, they're able to transplant those genes into regular soldiers.
Gene therapy?
I'll explain this part. With gene therapy, we can remove those genes which we know may lead to sickness or disease, and at the same time splice in genes with beneficial effects, such as resistance to cancer, for example.
In other words, we can overcome all sorts of genetic diseases, and at the same time add genetic characteristics as desired.
Okay. And so if you knew what genes were responsible for making the perfect soldier, you could implant them in the same way, right?
Yes, we could.
But it all depends on being able to isolate and identify those soldier genes.
And in order to do that, it's helpful if you can study the genomic information of one of the greatest soldiers ever.
One of the greatest soldiers ever?
The man they call the greatest warrior of the 20th century.
You don't mean Big Boss.
That's right. We've been working feverishly to identify the genes responsible for his incredible combat skill. So far, we've discovered about 60 of the so-called soldier genes.
So his body was recovered after all.
Yes, and his cells have remained frozen in a cryo chamber. His genomic information is a priceless treasure to mankind.
Priceless to the military, perhaps.
His body was burned severely, but it was possible to restore his DNA profile from just a single strand of his hair.
You people are amazing. And then you're gonna transplant those genes into soldiers?
Yes. We'll use a process that I discovered called gene targeting. The strongest soldiers don't become what they are by acquiring their skills through training or experience. We now know that hereditary factors are far more crucial for creating superior soldiers.
Snake, we can't give them his body. It's potentially more dangerous than all the nuclear warheads on that island put together.
I hear the terrorists are calling themselves the Sons of Big Boss.
The Sons of Big Boss?
Okay. So, noch 2 mindestens.
Tell me about these next generation special forces.
They started out as an anti-terrorist special ops unit, made up of former members of biochem units, technical escort units, and the nuclear emergency search team. Their purpose was to respond to threats involving next-generation weapons of mass destruction, including NBC weapons.
Until they were added, that is.
Who's they?
These guys didn't start out as regular army.
Looks like a pretty international group. Mercenaries?
Yeah, and it gets worse. Most of them were from a merc agency that I think you're familiar with. They were part of Big Boss's private guard. And after Big Boss went down, the military just bought out all their contracts.
Outer heaven.
After that, they were merged with our own VR unit, Force 21, and retrained. If you ask me, these so-called next-generation special forces should be called simulated soldiers. They have no real battle experience.
Video game players, huh?
Don't forget they've all been strengthened with gene therapy. They carry genes which make them excellent soldiers. Don't get careless just because they don't have much experience.
I thought using genetically modified soldiers was prohibited by international law.
Yes, but those are just declarations, not actual treaties.
The interesting thing is that nearly every member of the unit conspired in this attack.
How could an entire unit be subverted to rebellion?
They're calling it a revolution.
Since they all went through the same gene therapy, they probably felt closer than brothers. They see the unit as their only family.
The Sons of Big Boss. But if they were regular army, they must have been interviewed periodically by army counselors.
According to their files, they all got straight A's on their psychological tests. They all seemed like fine, upstanding, patriotic soldiers.
But they all took part in the uprising?
No, several people didn't show up on the day of the exercise. That's why there was a resupply of troops.
Was there any sign recently that something might be wrong?
There was a report a month ago that they were acting strangely.
Apparently they consulted classified information about the soldier genes and performed their own gene therapy experiments.
They can do that even without you?
Well, our gene therapy process is almost completely automated. And besides that, they're all geniuses with IQs over 180.
Even the existence of this genome army is a national secret of the highest order. We've been hoping to investigate this thing quietly and deal with it behind closed doors. High-Tech Special Forces Unit Foxhound. Your former unit. and one that I was a commander of. An elite group combining firepower and expertise. They're every bit as good as when I was commanding them.
So they're still around.
There are 6 members of Foxhound involved in this terrorist activity. Psycho Mantis, with his powerful psychic abilities. Sniper Wolf, the beautiful and deadly sharpshooter. Decoy Octopus, master of disguise. Vulcan Raven, giant and shaman. And Revolver Ocelot, specialist in interrogation and a formidable gunfighter.
Looks like a lovely bunch of folks. Too bad we'll be meeting under these circumstances.
And finally, in charge of them, Foxhound's squad leader, Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake?
Yes. And you're the only person who can stand against him.
Oh.
Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake. The man with the
Liquid
same
Snake.
codename as you.
Tell me what you know.
He fought in the Gulf War as a teenager, the youngest person in the SAS. His job was to track down and destroy mobile Scud missile launching platforms. You were there too, I believe. Didn't you infiltrate Western Iraq with a platoon of Green Berets?
I was just a kid myself back then.
The details are classified, but it seems that originally he penetrated the Middle East as a sleeper for the SIS.
He was a spy for the British Secret Intelligence Service?
But he never once showed his face in Century House. He was taken prisoner in Iraq, and after that there was no trace of him for several years. After you retired, he was rescued and became a member of Foxhound.
I thought that by the time I left, they were no longer using code names.
I don't know his real name. That information is so highly classified that even I can't look at it. Here's a photo of him. Pretty shocking, huh? His skin tone is different, but otherwise you two are exact duplicates.
I have a twin?
I don't know the details, but it seems so. That's why we really need you for this mission.
You're the only one who can beat him. Now that I've met you, I know. You've got something that he doesn't. I can see it in your eyes.
Why don't I find that thought more comforting?
Gibt einen flüssigen Snake, gibt einen festen Snake, jetzt fehlt nur noch...
I need to borrow your scissors.
What are you going to do?
Fehlt nur noch ein
Don't worry,
gasförmiger
just
Snake.
gonna clean myself up a
Snake.
little.
Nicht Snape.
Huh?
I don't want to be mistaken for the leader of the terrorists.
Okay, deswegen hat er im Spiel kurze Haare. Hat er sich selbst abgeschnitten. Ah, okay. So, was ist Special? Use Operations. Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. Okay, das sind die Nintendo-Spiele. Oder war Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake ein Nintendo-Spiel? Ich weiß gar nicht. Glaub's. Ah, okay. Also, VR-Training. Ja, machen wir das erstmal. Damit ich das Spiel überhaupt anständig spielen kann. Head for the goal while avoiding the enemy soldiers. Training ends if you are seen. Okay. Ups. Da wird aber Steuerung auch nicht erklärt. Mann. Okay, Moment. Muss ich in die Optionen mal reingehen. Okay, Weapon, Crawl, Action, First Person. Weapon, Action, Crawl, First Person. First Person ist immer gleich. Weapon, Action, Crawl. Waffe, Action, Crawl. Action. Nehmen wir A. Okay, mehr Informationen habe ich auch nicht. Geil. Okay. Aber Training machen wir trotzdem. Solid Snake. Yay!
Impressive, Snake.
Danke. Is the radar effectively and head for the goal? Enemy soldiers cannot see behind them. Weg! Ich mach Training. Ich mach das scheiß Training durch. Sonst stelle ich mich ja komplett beschissen im eigentlichen Spiel an. Yes!
Impressive, Snake.
Take the safest path and head for the goal. Crawl when necessary to get through narrow spaces. Aber hier habe ich mein Radar nicht, das ist ja doof. Interessant.
Impressive, Snake.
Find the best route and head for the goal. Some routes are less guarded than the others. Okay. Ich halt oben rum. Okay, das soll wahrscheinlich einem beibringen. Manchmal sind die längsten Routen die richtigen.
Impressive, Snake.
Head for the goal and avoid making loud footsteps in the differently colored areas of the floor. Okay. Moment, sehen die mich? Okay, die sehen mich nicht, die hören mich nur. Ah, die schlafen.
Impressive, Snake.
Impressive Snake. Übrigens, das Menü ist saumäßig komisch. Also super merkwürdig, weil du bestätigst Sachen mit Kreis. Das ist eins der wenigen Spiele, wo man Kreis benutzt, um Sachen auszuwählen und zu bestätigen und so weiter. Normalerweise macht man das ja mit dem X. Wenn die auch ich glaube ja, müssten im Hauptspiel vorkommen. So, head for the goal while avoiding surveillance cameras. Directly below each camera is a blind spot. Gut. Jo, das war einfach.
Impressive, Snake.
Impressive, Snake. So, Stage 7. Head for the goal while staying out of the enemy soldier's field of vision. Crouch to hide behind low walls. Bam.
Impressive, Snake.
Naked Snake. Sehr gut. Be careful about leaving footprints and head for the goal. The enemy soldiers will follow them if discovered. Schnee.
Whose footprints are these?
Which footprints are these? Nein! Bullshit! Bullshit. Okay.
Whose footprints are these?
Impressive, Snake.
Bam, bam, bam. Knock on the walls and head for the goal. Enemy soldiers are sensitive to sound. Use sound to lure them. Okay. Klopf, klopf.
What was that noise?
Klopf, klopf.
What was that noise?
Nice.
Impressive, Snake.
Head for the goal while using all the skills you've learned. Watch out for the searchlight. Okay. Okay, da ist eine Kamera. Yeah!
Impressive, Snake.
Yeah! Time Attack? Ne, brauch ich nicht. Save. Speichern geht schnell, das ist schön. Gut. Kacke ist halt, die haben mir nicht beigebracht, wie ich kämpfen kann und so. Wenn's nötig ist. Das überspringen wir mal. Das auch überspringen, das haben wir ja vorhin schon gesehen. Ja. Okay. Oh Gott. Oh. Kann ich da runter?
What was that noise?
Oh, oh, das ist Wasser. Oh, und ich hinterlasse Fußspuren. Oh, fuck. Jetzt, nachdem ich im Wasser war, hinterlasse ich Fußspuren. Das ist nicht gut. Warum ruft er mich jetzt an?
There's an elevator there you can take up to the ground.
Ja?
You'll just have to wait for the elevator to come down. You better hide somewhere.
Okay. Wo kann ich mich denn verstecken? Kann ich da drunter? Nee.
What was
Ah, das war Wasser. Verstecke ich mich da. Yeah. Beides cool. Da hinten liegt was. Das will ich haben. Muss ich mir holen. Fuck! Nix! Du hast mich nicht gesehen, Arschloch. Moment, hier war doch irgendwo was. Ah, jetzt kommen sie. Zurück. Quiet die Photosynthese machen kann und durch ihre Haut atmen. Da sind Ratten. Oh, fuck. Also ein bisschen blind sind die Leute schon, oder? Nein! Nein! Aktivier den scheiß Aufzug. Action-Taste. Action-Taste. Aufzug. Ah! Wo muss ich denn den scheiß Aufzug aktivieren? Ernsthaft? Geil. So, ja, das kann man schon, bla 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 bla. Hol ich mir die Ration da hier.
What was that noise?
Oh, was steht noch? So, verstecke ich mich hier, bis der scheiß Aufzug kommt. Da finden sie mich nie. Ich nicht entdeckt worden bin. Wahrscheinlich, ja. Oh. Los, verpiss dich.
What was that
Oh,
noise?
fuck. Gut, rein. Yes! Tatsächlich. Sehr interessant. Yeah. Tactical Espionage Action. Metal Gear Solid.
It's Snake. I'm in front of the disposal facility.
Excellent, Snake. Age hasn't slowed you down one bit.
Thanks to the VR training I did on board the Discovery.
How's that sneaking suit working out?
I'm nice and dry, but it's a little hard to move.
Bear with it. It's designed to prevent hypothermia. This is Alaska, you know.
Take it easy, I'm grateful. If it weren't for your suit and your shot, I would have turned into a popsicle out there.
An anti-freezing peptide, Snake. All of the genome soldiers in this exercise are using it.
I see. I'm relieved to hear that. Already tested, huh? By the way, how's the diversionary operation going?
2 F-16s just took off from Galena and are headed your way. The terrorist radar should have already picked them up.
Behind D. Colonel, what's a Russian gunship doing here?
I have no idea, but it looks like our little diversion got their attention. Now's your best chance to slip in unnoticed. There are only 18 hours left until their deadline. You've got to hurry.
Wow, you must be crazy to fly a hind in this kind of weather.
Who's that?
Oh, sorry. I haven't introduced you to yet. This is Mei Ling. She was assigned to us as our visual and data processing specialist. She designed your codec, as well as your Soliton radar system. Contact her if you have any questions about either of them.
Nice to meet you, Snake. It's an honor to speak to a living legend like yourself. What's wrong?
Nothing. I just didn't expect a world-class designer of military technology to be so cute.
You're just flattering me.
No, I'm serious. Well, I know I won't be bored for the next 18 hours.
Come on.
Aww.
I can't believe I'm being hit on by the famous Solid Snake. But I'm surprised. You're very frank for a trained killer.
Looks like we both have a lot to learn about each other.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to learning about the man behind the legend. But first, let me explain about your Soliton radar system. The bright dot in the middle is you, Snake. The red dots are your enemies, and the blue cone shape represents their field of vision.
Be careful, Snake. The genome soldiers have highly developed senses of hearing and vision due to their gene therapy. Make sure you don't let them see you.
First, I want you to infiltrate the disposal site and look for the DARPA chief.
The DARPA chief was injected with the same GPS transmitting nanomachines as you.
He should appear on your radar as a green dot.
Get whatever information you can from him about the terrorists. If he's alive, that is.
Snake, your radar isn't affected by the weather, but if you're discovered by an enemy, you won't be able to use it.
Yes, it gets jammed easily, I'm afraid.
Yes, it's all made from currently existing technology. You won't be able to use it in an area with strong harmonic resonance, so be careful.
We'll be monitoring your movements by radar, so contact us by codec anytime you want.
Got it. I'll call if I'm feeling lonely.
Seriously, Snake, we're here to back you up, so call if you need some information or advice.
I'm also in charge of your mission data. Contact me if you want me to record your current status. My frequency is 140.96. It's a dedicated frequency for saving data. Don't forget it.
Remember, except for your binoculars, you're naked. You need to arm yourself with whatever weapons you can find.
I remember. First, I'm strip-searched by Dr. Naomi here, and then all my weapons are taken away. Imagine yourself put in that position.
Well, if you make it back in one piece, maybe I'll let you do a strip search on me.
I'll hold you to that, Doctor. By the way, sorry to disappoint you, but I did manage to smuggle out my smokes.
How did you do that?
In my stomach. Thanks to the shot you gave me that suppressed my stomach acids.
Cigarettes? How are those going to help you?
You never know.
Cigarette.
If If you want to get in, there's the front door. It's the fastest way, but there's too much risk of being spotted by the enemy.
I can't just knock on the door and ask them to let me in. There's one sentry on the left and one on the right. They're armed with 5.56ers and pineapples.
Ananas? Was? Wo läuft denn der jetzt hin?
What about the air duct near the door? There should also be a duct on the second floor.
I can't see it from here.
I'll let you decide the best COA. I'm counting on you, Snake.
Ups, nein, den wollte ich gar nicht.
Snake, your mission is to infiltrate, not to fight. Don't let the enemy see you.
Okay.
You didn't waste any time in getting spotted, did you? Too bad. Looks like your cover is blown. Proceed with extreme caution.
Ah, Bullshit.
First, you've got to rescue the DARPA chief. Infiltrate the building in front. Look for some way to get in.
Ja. Was war der ihr 9.6, ne?
What is it, Snake?
Speichern. Okay.
Snake, remember what the Gauls said. The graveyards are full of indispensable men. Snake, you're all alone and surrounded by bad guys. Try to be careful and avoid getting into a fight whenever you can.
You're right. Wow, you know all sorts of great quotes, don't you?
Well, both my parents are from Guangdong, China.
Guangdong.
But I was born and raised in America. I've always liked reading literature from both sides. Kinda keeps me in touch. I'll share some more quotes with you if you like.
I'm looking forward to it. But to tell you the truth, I'd like to learn more about you.
Well, I'll think about it.
Ah, okay, da unten ist. Ah, cool. Cool. Schwarzes Bild, was? Das ist komisch. Das ist sehr komisch. Aber viel habt ihr nicht verpasst. Beziehungsweise im Endeffekt nichts. Außer dass die gute Frau Mei Ling. Also ich weiß nicht, ob ihr das noch mitbekommen habt. Oder schon wieder mitbekommen habt. Die gute Dame ist aus China, wurde da geboren, ist in Amerika aufgewachsen und Snake hat wieder ein bisschen gebaggert. Aber ja, ich, wegen dem ganzen Briefing und dem VR-Training machen wir erstmal mit dem eigentlichen Spiel. Machen wir erstmal Pause damit. Sozusagen dann beim nächsten Mal fängt's erst richtig an. Und ja. Nur Snake, der am Flirten war. Im Endeffekt, ja. Und halt nochmal kurz aus Versehen, die Aufgabenbeschreibung mit dem anderen Typen nochmal besprochen. Dass ich halt den einen Typen erstmal retten soll und erstmal selbst schauen soll, wie ich in das Haus reinkomme und so. Also nichts Wichtiges. Und ja. Aber ja, wir machen hier erstmal Pause, Schluss für heute und so weiter. Beim nächsten Mal geht's dann mit dem eigentlichen Spiel richtig los. Gut.